Bullet barrage is nuts. Pretty sure y'all know this already. It is what wyvern fire always had meant to be. That huge big attack that deals tons of damage and makes even the biggest beasts tremble with fear. And barrage delivers in this sense. If this were a MOBA kind of game, this would be the ultimate move you get every 2 minutes. It does around 950 points of damage by itself, and you can basically use it between 15 and 30 seconds. Of course, this is not without backdraws. It has 3 big ones. The first one is that lacks any kind of auto aim. You can't lock into the monster and use it, but has to manually aim it and eyeball it. The second is that your character will move naturally a certain distance before using it. Or better said, it will try to move. This will happen even if you are at a point blank of the monster. And the last one then makes the 2 previous problems even bigger, is that if you don't have wyvern fire ready, the move startup will increase from 1 second and half to 4 seconds. That is a ton of delay. Also, this sends teammates flying, but I will ignore that in this video. The quick version will be almost always unavailable. Missing a barrage means missing 900 damage or more, plus making you wait for another bunch of time before you can reuse it. Missing is also dangerous because you will not flinch the monster and can be hit back easily. A trick to make the move more safer to use is to use guard reload, since you can cancel some recovery using it. In the demo there is not a lot of synergy of using guard reload over quick reload, but I will leave it up to you to pick the reload you want. Talking about the demo is important to know that Gunlance has the following skills built in. Wirebug Whisperer 3 that improves the cooldown recovery by a 20%. It is what allows to recover a bug after 15 seconds of using barrage and makes way easier to keep the third bug. Artillery 3 and load up. The shelling staples. Guard 3. Even with this one you will be unable to guard some stuff like Valky roars that will make you unable to use cool openings like wyvern fire into barrage. And then some other fillers like defense and attack boost. This guide more of what happens after a barrage is how to land it the most reliable way possible. First, let's take a look at the usual ways you will miss it. The most common way is when you try to eyeball it by attacking a monster that is doing nothing and moves out before the attack starts. This is the number lesson about using barrage. Avoid using it when the monster has free movement, just because you can't predict what is going to happen next. You may be able to get lucky and hit, but then you are also vulnerable to get hit and totally missing it. Against monsters like Volcano, some attacks can really ruin your day and cart you. The other usual problem is to try it at point blank. As said before, you will move a mandatory time before you attack. Against bipedal monsters like Astalos and small ones like Arzuros, there is a huge chance you will get through them and hit thin air. These 2 bad ideas can combine for even more horrendous chances of hitting the monster. If you go YOLO at point blank, it is not going to end well. Look at all these fails. Frustrating, right? Fortunately, there are several ways to improve your chances or even guarantees hitting your enemies with true aim. First, let's check the basics of how barrage works. Barrage is triggered by using ZL plus X normally on the ground. The attack will be used in the direction your character is facing. Important thing that doesn't have anything to do with where the camera is facing. There is no way to precisely aim this tech. Even if you try using the camera locking option at the menu, there is no difference. This is the most important thing to know when using barrage. You can also use Barrage Midair, but the conditions are hard to meet. You only can use it if you are flying with your clip full and wyvern fire ready. This rules out using it from a wirebug or blast dash, because you need to use a shell midair to be able to follow up. Basically only can do it by stepping out from an edge with the weapon out. So it is not practical for most scenarios you usually meet in a hunt. The other thing to consider is the distance. Barrage, as long as you don't get stuck by an obstacle, will take the same length before attacking. The movement is a bit longer than a ground splitter, and most importantly has a lot of range on front and in the sides. Even if you fail to land the wormstake, it is very likely to land the wyvern fire and some shells. The front range of the attack is quite long, way more than ground splitter. A great trick about this is when you have made an enemy rideable and you have activated the option to ride after hitting it. You can aim your barrage to the side, and that will make sure you are hitting with the wyvern fire instead of the alternative of landing a weaker stake. Finally, about the movement, when stuck with something, Your character will begin its attack after the same time as would have taken to reach the destination. Now to the best ways to land it without fail. The most inefficient but at the same time easiest way is to equip in the alternative Silkbind slot Hail Cutter. Hail Cutter got buffed and now recovers a lot more of cooldown. In general, after using it once you will have Wyvern Fire recovered by the time you can barrage again. This is of course less efficient than triggering the cooldown reduction, but as said is so much faster then you will have zero problems with it. This is the recommended way to deal with the smallest and most aggressive enemies. Hitting them with the quick version is exponentially easier. Also can be used against dangerous ones like Maltzanos in the demo since your healing is limited, and this makes using Barrage a lot more safe. And as an alternative unlocks the combo of Wyvern Fire into Barrage for an extra dose of big explosions. But once again, repeating myself, this solution is far from the best. It is to the point I would consider using Ground Splitter. No good. Without a single ounce of doubt, the best way to land Barrage is to start it just when the monster has started an animation for an attack. While a monster is attacking, most of the time they are stuck in the same place. Also, monsters will stay in place a while after attacking. If you try to guard an attack and then using Barrage, you will find that the monster will start moving and attacking before you launch the attack. The only problem with this tech is that you will be hit most of the time while recharging the worm stake. But there is one trick. Barrage has a very extensive super armor. The super armor lasts until the moment you use the stake. This means that for the whole recharge and movement you will not get flinched. A fun thing is that if you get hit before Wyvern Fire comes out you will keep it recharged and you will be able to use the fast version the next time or use the standalone version. Of course, you must watch out your health before doing this or you will get carded. The super armor also comes with a big damage reduction effect. I have heard that is something like 70%, and in my experience it seems accurate. Only be aware that much like the Monster Hunter World's Rocksteady Mantle, multi-hits will demolish you. This will be specially effective in the full game when using Gourmet Fishes and Kushala Armor Set bonus to quickly recover this lost armor without having to do anything at all. Attacking as soon as possible also helps you to recover and be safe before the enemy can hit you back. Even if you are getting hit, this is safer. Another warn is that attacks that causes blights will still affect you, so be wary of not getting stunned by Astalos doing this. I think this guide has taken enough time already and you must have taken the point by now. Landing Barrage is an exercise of exploiting the moves of your enemies and being brave enough to withstand some damage. It rewards being smart and good timing. So, don't YOLO it and get the best of your enemies. Little more to say. Enjoy your portable nuke attack. See you in the hunt. Explosions.